Hello, I'm Julian Pino from California State University, Channel Islands. Throughout the years, pollution has gotten more severe around the world. More specifically, contaminated urbanized streams of water have been closely monitored by the EPA. My colleague Daniel Chong and I have traveled around Ventura County to cover the issues regarding the Calleguas Creek Watershed. The origins of Ventura County began with the occupants of the Chumash Native Americans. The Chumash took advantage of the fertile soil and flat land to plant crops that seemed to be the beginning of a perpetual practice in the area. Eventually, the Spanish arrived in Ventura and quickly colonized the area. This also resulted in the urbanization of the local streams from the farms, which led to the creation of the Calleguas Creek Watershed. Since then, the local crops along with the watershed continued to develop and spread out throughout the whole Ventura County. This continuous agricultural expansion provided residents with environmental and economic benefits that shaped the area to what it is today. It wasn't until recently that the countless years of agriculture development began to take a toll on the environment. The Calleguas Creek watershed covers approximately 343 square miles in southern Ventura County. The watershed includes Conejo Creek, Arroyo Santa Rosa, Arroyo Simi, Arroyo Las Posas, and Calleguas Creek, as well as Revelon Slough and Magoo Lagoon. The watershed ultimately drains to the Pacific Ocean through Magoo Lagoon. My colleague and I headed down to the Calleguas Creek location near CSUCI to cover the issues regarding the watershed.
Hello, my name is Daniel Chong, and we're on the location of Calleguas Creek. According to the EPA, Calleguas Creek is considered the most damaged watersheds in Ventura County. And the reason being is because of farm fertilizers, oil droplets from highways, and industrial contaminants. There was a plan to help clean the creek. So, according to sources, they gathered 34 major parties, which consisted of the Navy, farmers, and developers. There was a goal to help clean up the creeks. But 5 years down the line, there was no action taken, so we wasted about $3 million. Well, we could use that money to help benefit the creek. Calleguas Creek is a gem and gutter to us, meaning that we could benefit from the creek in so many ways, and gutter is the harmful practices that we are doing to the creek right now. So right now I'm gonna turn it to Dr. Anderson, who has some vital information to share.
Dr. Sean Anderson is an associate professor at CI with a focus on environmental science and resource management. During his studies at UCLA, Dr. Anderson has shown a particular interest in the restoration effort at Magoo Lagoon in Ventura County.
Right around the turn of the 1800s and 1900s, these folks back east invent a process to get sugar from sugar beets. And so then these folks bring that out to what we now know as the city of Oxnard, and they start planting the Oxnard plain with sugar beets. Sugar beets, really, really intensive crop. Needs tons of fertilizer, needs tons of water. The Oxnard plain, very flat. So when we have to bring water to the things growing, but then also we got to get the water off so we don't flood them. So that starts to lead to huge hydrological modifications, and Calleguas Creek is but one of those. We start to levee the creek, putting a dam on the sides of the creek and not allowing the creek to jump and to stay within its channel, and that causes all kinds of problems. The last sort of big piece of this is in the post-World War II era, especially gets going in the 1960s here. We have a lot of development all around the watershed of Calleguas Creek, and that in particular includes stuff on the hillsides. So in particular, that is for things like avocado, citrus orchards, and then soon after that, housing. And so that leads to all kinds of, people weren't initially having what we would now call good sediment management practices. So people just essentially cut into the side of the hill, plant stuff, whatever, make the dirt all loose. Now all this sediment, dirt, whatever, rolls down and goes in the creek, clogs the creek, all kinds of problems. So that's sort of the history, the context of Calleguas Creek. Really first started to get messed up around the about 100 years ago, then took another major blow about 30, 40 years ago, and we've been essentially recovering since.
In conclusion, the Calleguas Creek watershed is a historic and significant aspect of Ventura County that has been going through restoration and maintenance problems. Throughout the years, there have been plans to fix these problems. However, due to the political issues within the county, there has yet to be a drastic improvement. The first step to restoring the watershed would be to encourage officials to take action on this local environmental issue.